Hi guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona. And in this video, I'm comparing two of the most popular hearing aid platforms ever created, the Phonak Paradise and the Oticon More. Coming up. For years, the subscribers of my channel have been begging me to do comparison videos of different hearing aids. And I've basically avoided doing these comparisons because it's really difficult to identify which hearing aids I even want to compare. Yet here we are 5 years into my YouTube channel and I am doing my first hearing aid comparison video where I'm going to be comparing the Phonak Paradise platform with the Oticon More platform. Both the Phonak Paradise and Oticon More are outstanding hearing aids that I would consider to be two of the most technologically advanced hearing aids currently available on the market. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to be comparing their top tier technologies. So we have the Phonak Paradise 90s and the Oticon More 1s. But before I get into my comparison of these two hearing aids, if you could do me a huge favor and click the like button, it really lets me know that you want to see more of these comparison videos. And while you're at it, if you have not yet hit that subscribe button with notification bell, go ahead and do that as well, because that ensures that you never miss one of my newly released videos, and I release multiple new videos every single week. With that out of the way, I really appreciate it. Now let's take a look at the different categories that I'm going to use to compare these different hearing aids. These categories will include available form factors, wireless connectivity, rechargeability, digital features, custom ear molds, programmability, app controls, accessories, and unique differentiators. When it comes to the available form factors, Phonak definitely has more form factors than what Oticon has. In fact, as of right now, the Oticon More comes in a non-rechargeable and rechargeable receiver and canal option, as well as a non-rechargeable and rechargeable mini BTE option. The Phonak Paradise, on the other hand, comes in a wide variety of different form factors, from the custom in-the-ear lineup going all the way down to an invisible in the canal, to the rechargeable and non-rechargeable receiver and canal models, to the non-rechargeable and rechargeable power BTE models. Not to mention, Phonak now has 4 different receiver and canal models, including the original Audeo Paradise, the Audeo Life, the Audeo Fit, and the Phonak Slim hearing aids. So it really just comes down to which form factor you prefer and if the particular brand has that form factor. When it comes to wireless connectivity, the Phonak Paradise line of devices uses Bluetooth Classic, whether you're using an Android device or an Apple device. The Oticon More hearing aids use the Bluetooth Low Energy protocol for Apple devices and the ASHA Bluetooth protocol for Android devices. Bluetooth Classic is relatively universal, allowing the Phonak Paradise line of devices to connect up to virtually any type of Bluetooth device, whether it's a smartphone, a dumb phone, a tablet, a laptop, or a desktop computer, to do audio streaming directly into both of your hearing aids. And on top of that, you can pair up to 8 different Bluetooth devices at one time, and you can have 2 active connections at any given time. This means you don't have to constantly be turning off and on Bluetooth between your favorite devices. The Bluetooth Low Energy protocol that allows an Oticon More hearing aid to connect up to an iPad or an iPhone gives you a little bit more customization of what you want specifically streamed directly into your hearing aids. However, like I mentioned before, they also have the ASHA Bluetooth protocol, which allows you to connect your Oticon More hearing aids up to an Android device, but it is much more limited than what you will have with Bluetooth Classic. I am personally not a fan of the ASHA Bluetooth protocol. I just do not think it's that stable. So if you're going to get an Oticon More hearing aid, I highly recommend that you also get an Apple device to go with it. On top of that, thanks to the recent iOS update from Apple, you can now do 2-way audio with an Oticon More hearing aid, just like you've always been able to do with the Phonak Paradise hearing aid. So when you're talking on the phone, the microphones of the hearing aids pick up your voice and send it to the person on the other end of the line, so you no longer have to talk directly into your phone. And I have to say, it is kind of nice to be able to select between those 2 different options of either talking into your phone or talking through your hearing aids, and that is an option that Oticon lets you have that Phonak doesn't. However, with Oticon, you still have to have your phone in your possession to actually answer or reject a call. You can answer and reject calls directly from your Phonak hearing aids without even having your phone on you. All right, moving on to rechargeability, which is another difference between these two devices. The Oticon More rechargeable hearing aids use exclusively inductive charging, which means that you don't have to have any battery contacts on these particular hearing aids. This makes the Oticon More some of the easiest hearing aids to place inside of a charger and take out of a charger if you have finger dexterity issues. The Oticon More lithium batteries can also be changed out by your hearing care professional, so if there's an issue with one of the lithium batteries, you don't have to send the entire hearing aid back into the manufacturer. Your hearing care professional can change it right in their office for a really quick turnaround. Now, Phonak uses contact charging as well as inductive charging with their lithium batteries. It just depends on which model you're looking at. The classic Audio Paradise and new Audio Fit hearing aids both use charging contacts, which means that when you place them inside of the charger case, there are actually metal contacts that need to make contact in order for these hearing aids to charge, and there are little latches in there to kind of lock the hearing aid into place, which makes them a little bit more difficult to remove from the charger. The new Audio Life and Phonak Slim hearing aids both use inductive charging, which means it's a lot easier to place these hearing aids inside their chargers and pull them back out. The only other issue that I have with Phonak charging cases other than the contact charging is the fact that in the Charger Case Go, it doesn't have a really big well for custom ear molds to go into, which means that if you want to use these hearing aids with custom ear molds, it's much more difficult. Both the Phonak Paradise and Oticon More hearing aids are going to give you a full day's worth of battery life on just a short 3-hour charge. Both Oticon and Phonak also have portable chargers or power pack options if you want to take your charger with you on the go. As far as digital features go inside of these two different hearing aids, the Phonak Paradise have a few more adjustments that you can make with them compared to the Oticon More hearing aids. In the Phonak Paradise hearing aid software, you can adjust the microphone directionality, soft speech enhancer, sound relax impulse noise reduction, noise block, soft noise reduction, wind block, whistle block, dynamic noise cancellation, motion sensor hearing, and even echo block if you want to reduce the negative effects of an echo. The programming software also lets your hearing care professional adjust each one of these digital features independently for each one of the programs inside of your AutoSense OS 4.0. On top of that, each one of these AutoSense OS 4.0 programs will be automatically switched into when you enter into different acoustic environments. Oticon, on the other hand, keeps some of these digital features a little bit more simple. They will allow you to adjust how soon neural noise suppression will activate, make changes to the simulated pinna effects, adjust easy and difficult noise suppression, adjust the level of sound detail, and the directionality settings. Now, the Oticon More programming software will allow you to make adjustments to different programs with these different features, but then you have to manually go into each one of these programs when you're out and about. They will not toggle into automatically like the Phonak Paradise will. But I will say this, the general program inside of the Oticon More hearing aids with the neural automatic features set will do a pretty good job in almost every situation you find yourself in. All right, moving on to custom ear molds, which Phonak and Oticon do a really good job of. Phonak has really good custom in-the-ear products as well as custom seashell ear molds for the receiver and canal hearing aids, both in acrylic and titanium, which is very unique to Phonak. And the reason I like them so much is for two reasons. Number one, they have acoustically optimized venting, which is very important. I have a video talking about that if you want to learn more, as well as a very consistent high-quality fit. The Phonak Paradise hearing aids also have the one-of-a-kind active vent receivers, which allows you to have an open or closed vent depending on the type of situation that you're in and whether or not you're streaming. You guessed it, I also have a video talking about the active vent receiver that I will link down in the description. Of course, I also love the new Oticon microshell ear molds that can be made with a digital impression of your ear canal, which means that you get a really good deep fit, which makes them almost invisible and extremely comfortable. Both Phonak and Oticon custom ear molds improve the programmability of their devices, which happens to be the next category that I'm looking at. As far as overall programmability goes, the Oticon More hearing aids have 24 different adjustment bands that their frequency range is broken into, and the Phonak Paradise hearing aids have 20 different frequency bands. This means that the Oticon More devices are slightly more customizable than the Phonak devices when it comes to a frequency standpoint. However, from a compression standpoint, I find that the Phonak hearing aids are much more precise when making amplification changes for loud and soft level sounds. So basically what I'm saying here is that when I'm performing real ear measurement during a hearing aid fitting, it's easier for me to match the prescriptive targets for an Oticon More hearing aid when we're looking at average level speech inputs. But when it comes down to soft level speech inputs and loud level speech inputs, I find it easier to program a Phonak hearing aid. I also find that it's easier to program for a steeply sloping high frequency hearing loss using an Oticon hearing aid, especially if you're going to be using an open dome. If you're going to try to fit this type of hearing loss with a Phonak Paradise hearing aid, I highly recommend using a custom C-shell with an acoustically optimized vent. That being said, when you take into consideration the domes of these hearing aids, I think that the Phonak domes actually aid in better retention of these hearing aids inside of an ear canal than what an Oticon dome does. So overall, when it comes to programmability, both Phonak and Oticon have their pros and cons, and it really just depends on what your specific wants and needs are and what your hearing loss is. When it comes to app controls, the My Phonak app gives you access to volume adjustments and the ability to switch into different custom programs. You can also customize your own programs with a 3-band equalizer, noise reduction, speech focus, and compression settings, and save them for later use. The app also lets you access remote care for live remote sessions with your hearing care professional, even if you are not in their office. The Oticon On app gives you less ability to customize programs inside of your Oticon More hearing aids, but they do give you the ability to change between different programs, activate the More Sound Booster, change volume levels, activate live listen mode, and adjust your audio streaming settings. They also give you a feature that you do not get with Phonak hearing aids, which is the Find My Hearing Aid feature, so you can find a missing hearing aid in case it falls off your ear. However, they also require the use of a different app called the Oticon Remote Care app to allow for remote adjustments, which is just a bit more of a hassle compared to Phonak, since the My Phonak app has it all self-contained. One other thing that you can do with the Oticon More hearing aids that you cannot do with the Phonak Paradise hearing aids is use the app on your Apple Watch. So you can actually just have the app on your watch, make whatever adjustments you want to, so you don't have to pull out your phone. As far as wireless accessories go, I think that Phonak has a clear advantage over Oticon. Now, both Phonak and Oticon have access to a TV streamer, which allows you to stream the audio from your TV directly into both of your hearing aids without affecting the volume of the TV for anyone else in the same room as you. They also both have their own companion microphone. Phonak has their partner mic, and Oticon has their Connect clip. You basically clip these different microphones onto the collar of the person that you want to hear, so if you're in a noisy environment, their voice goes directly into these accessories and streams it wirelessly directly into your ears, overcoming the background noise. However, with Phonak's embedded Roger receivers inside of their hearing aids, you get direct connectivity to the award-winning Roger microphones, including the Roger On, the Roger Select, the Roger Pen, and the Roger Table Mic 2. These Phonak Roger microphones give you an unfair advantage in a background noise situation, not just compared to the Oticon More hearing aids, but pretty much every other hearing aid out there. Last but not least, I want to talk about some of the unique differentiators of each one of these hearing aids, starting with the Oticon More, which I believe is one of the most unique hearing aids ever created due to how it processes sound. The Oticon More hearing aid actually uses a deep neural network to perform deep learning, which improves how well this hearing aid processes sound in a background noise situation. Now, I do not have enough time inside of this video to explain exactly what a deep neural network or what deep learning are, but if you want to learn more, make sure that you check out my review video of the Oticon More that I will link in the description, because it is very impressive technology. On top of that, the Oticon More hearing aids are really unique in how they utilize directionality in a background noise environment. Where typical hearing aids will basically focus the microphones forward in a noisy situation, blocking off all of your access to sounds around you, the Oticon More hearing aids will leave the listening landscape open and shift the microphones around depending on how important the information is around you. This way, you can actually focus on speech coming from different directions instead of having to make sure that you're facing the person that you want to hear in a noisy situation. As far as the unique differentiator for Phonak, on top of its ability to be the most universally connected hearing aid and the hearing aid that has best access to wireless accessories like the Roger microphones, it is just an all-around fantastic hearing aid. No matter the configuration or severity of your hearing loss, you can have a Phonak Paradise hearing aid configured in almost any way that you want to be ideal for those types of losses. Phonak also gives you a very unique feature and one of my favorite features, which is called tap control, which allows you to answer phone calls by simply double tapping your ear or ending phone calls by double tapping your ear. And it also lets you pause and start streaming and activate your voice assistant all with a simple double tap. All right, there you go. That is my comparison of the Phonak Paradise 90 and the Oticon More 1 hearing aids, both being fantastic devices. There is one caveat though. It does not matter how awesome either one of these hearing aids are unless you have a hearing care professional who follows best practices when selecting, fitting, and programming these devices. Now, if you do not know what best practices are, I highly recommend that you check out my video that I will link in the description, because both of these hearing aids would be a huge disappointment if best practices are not followed. When it's all said and done, I fit a ton of patients with both of these hearing aids regularly, and it just depends on what your specific wants and needs are that will determine which one is best for you. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please share it. And if you want to see other videos just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, feel free to check out my website, drcliffaud.com.